Welcome to the S&I podcast. With deep roots in the Canadian regulatory landscape, S&I has helped hundreds of companies get on the shelf quickly and compliantly so that they can sell more and grow their brands. On this show, you'll hear stories from S&I's clients, plus the team's insights on how to overcome their biggest compliance issues and create a standout brand in the food and natural wellness space. The S&I podcast is your source for market compliance. Now, on to the episode.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the S&I podcast. I'm here with Erin Borelli, our Director of Regulatory Affairs, and we are in Denver, Colorado for the Newtopia show. So we are on day 2. It's wrapping up right now. We just wanted to give a little bit of an insight into how the couple days went, some of the observations that we had at the show, and just, a little bit of how, what we do here and how we connect with clients. So, Erin, what did you think of it?
I think it was great. It was a much smaller show than Expo West for sure, but it was really nice to be able to have good conversations with a lot of good companies. And overall, I think it was run really well.
Yeah. I think one of the interesting parts of this show compared to the Anaheim show was the use of the neighborhoods. At first, I don't say I could notice, the 4 sections. But then actually walking through, you kind of observe. They had one section that was, I think, Thrive. It had more of all the food brands. Glow, they had stations set up where you could, get little treatments, little hand treatments, moisturizing scrubs and lotions. Regenerate, they were doing the live cooking show, which was interesting. They had a stage set up so brands could talk and everyone could kind of learn a little bit about them. That was, I think, between a couple of the sections there, but it was kind of neat how they had it set up as neighborhoods.
Yes, I agree. It was very unique. I don't think I've ever seen that before, so it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And then given that this is the first, Newtopia show, or branded Newtopia anyway, kind of replacing the Natural Products Expo East, Erin and I were already at Expo West this year in March, and I'd say some of the trends, or most of the trends, were about the same. We saw a lot of mushroom products.
Right. A lot of functional beverages, including those mushrooms, a lot of gut health still, a lot of beverages in sachet form, fewer gummies, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does seem like potentially that could be just, I don't know, even just weight of the product.
Right.
The sachets and powdered products do seem to be quite popular.
Mm-hmm.
Gut health is a big topic as well, as it usually is.
Yep. Immune still somewhat, but I feel like less so. I feel like gut health is definitely taken over where immune stopped. So
right. Yeah. And one of the interesting things that I find at these shows is just some of the recurring topics that come up as we talk to new brands.
Yep.
One of the ones just being challenges coming to Canada.
Yes.
That's a big one. So we obviously help companies come across the border, whether it is going into the US or coming to Canada or internationally as well. But coming to Canada does come up a lot.
Yeah.
People see our badge.
Mm-hmm.
It says Canada. We start that conversation. Food products, not too much to consider. Of course, labeling. The biggest thing being bilingual labeling.
Yeah, everyone is very concerned about the amount of French that has to be on the label. So we've done our best to help the brands understand that in Canada, we're used to seeing everything bilingual, and our creative team does a great job at helping companies incorporate all the French that needs to be on there while still retaining their brand identity.
For sure. And the other, side on the product types that I really like talking to as well are supplements. So we do see that, dietary supplements classically in the US, majority of the time shift into the natural health product realm.
Yep.
Though now with supplemented foods, that does open up another pathway as well into the Canadian market. So I think we get into some good conversations, trying high level, is this maybe viable in this country? What could that look like from a pathway perspective? Mm-hmm. Does it require an application? How long does that take? All these things keep coming up.
Yes. Yeah. Classification is definitely the number one question that we've gotten and the number one concern because, again, the classification of the product determines the pathway to market, how long it takes, how expensive it can be. Yeah.
Even on the like cosmetic product side, I always find that interesting too. So brands having, a full line of cosmetics for different functions. Often think that maybe, well, it's cosmetic in the US, so we're going to be cosmetic in Canada. And that's not always the case.
No, cosmetics in the United States can actually come into Canada as cosmetics, certainly, for sure, but also in some cases, natural health products. And then in other cases, they could be OTCs as well. It really just depends on how our regulations align with their product formula and claims.
So we do see these cosmetic products coming in. Sometimes that's more of the over-the-counter product. Sunscreens. We also see cosmetic products. That would be just more, high-level cosmetic function. I try to explain it like, moisturizing, maybe replenishing, but nothing too cellular.
Yeah.
Once we get into more of the cellular action of a product like that, even if it is a topical application, it could be a natural health product.
Mm-hmm.
Things like toothpaste, too, even in Canada, are natural health products for the most part. So seeing those differences is always interesting and I think eye-opening.
Yeah,
with the
for
brands
sure.
here.
It's not always obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some, in some situations where the same product could actually choose a natural health product category or an OTC pathway, depending on packaging, claims, for that kind of thing. So yeah, it's not always obvious for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the, well, I think it's our favorite topic. It's for sure my favorite topic is classification. Now it's just it's not straightforward. And that's what we like doing, is diving into not only the ingredients themselves, but the claims that are being made, just the representation on shelf, and history of use. How has this product typically been used in Canada?
Mm-hmm.
So assessing those things, figuring out the right path, and then of course helping clients through that pathway.
Yep.
Best that we can.
Yeah.
So overall, I think we made a lot of really good connections.
Yeah. It was a really great show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it's nice being out in Denver. To my knowledge, I don't think there's been another show here for a while anyway. Expo East moved maybe out of the East, but now Newtopia. And yeah, we are excited to see what continues to happen. The brands that we did talk to seem to be pretty excited about the show itself. So that there's been some good conversations for them. Hopefully, some good partnerships come out of it. And we do hope to see what happens next year.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the SNI podcast. To learn more about SNI and receive even more resources to help you reach your business goals, including information on regulatory compliance, clinical trials, and creative solutions for the natural health and food industries, follow us at Source-Nutraceutical Inc. on LinkedIn. You can also visit our website at sourcenutra.com. Thanks again and see you next time.